What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 30th episode of Speaking of Stadia.
What?
Number 30? Are you kidding?
It's wild.
That's
Crazy.
weird. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Aaron Cini, and as with me always is my favorite John Krasinski on the internet, the bearded beauty whose beard is looking extra terrifyingly beautiful today. He is too tall himself, Jacob Porter. Jacob, how are you?
Good. Had a good weekend. Enjoyed the Labor Day weekend. Do you guys have Labor Day weekend down in up in the Great White North?
Oh, down there in Canada.
Down in Canada.
Yes, we do have Labor Day weekend. Did I work that weekend though? Yes.
Of course.
Spell it with a
Yes, you
U. Classic Canadians.
Of course.
Yeah.
The proper way to spell it.
I saw Mel. She said some joke about I can't believe everyone who's pregnant, is having labor today. Low hanging fruit with that one.
Yeah.
Gotta go for it. And our other guest rounding out the Speaking of Stadia trio, she puts the Supernova in Nova Scotia. I'm gonna figure out exactly how I want to say it at some point. Her name is Fiona. Fee, how are you?
I'm doing absolutely great. I hope you're doing well. And I really like the new background.
Let's go.
The KF.
Got the KF representation.
Smirk.
We're gonna have the Speaking of Stadia sign up eventually, so we'll have the background will evolve.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited.
As it does. Yes, this is the new studio. It's where I'll be streaming from, doing these shows from, all that good stuff. So thanks for noticing. It's fancy. Of course, this is Speaking of Stadia, where every other week we get together and talk about all things Stadia, running down the news, any new games that are coming out, anything that we've been playing. Which brings me to my very first segment. What have you been playing? Fiona, let's start with you. What have you been playing lately?
Well, I've been playing a small game called Final Fantasy XIV.
No. Did you finally start Final Fantasy 14?
I did.
And the subsequent podcast to follow it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I can talk about later on, can't I? I have been playing that game quite often. But I played a Stadia game this week, guys.
Yeah, you did. Whoa. Let's go.
I was just like, I best be. I decided to play Murder by Numbers.
Oh,
interesting.
You know what? I like mystery games, so I wanted to download that. And few thoughts. One, I absolutely love it. The music's amazing. It's very much like if you took Minesweeper and mixed it in with Ace Attorney and obviously Murder. It's kind of like that. It's a really good game.
Okay.
However, Mediatonic, I have a problem with you when it comes to this game. If you go on their website and you scroll down, obviously they have Fall Guys at the top, and then they have Murder by Numbers, and then they specifically show out now Murder by Numbers, and it only shows Steam and the Switch. Does not show Stadia.
Boo.
Mediatonic. What the heck? What
are you doing?
It's all because they got bought by. Then Mediatonic got bought by Epic, right?
Even then, why would they show Steam then?
That's true. Valid point.
Yeah.
Valid point. You've just been lawyered by the Ace Attorney herself.
Exactly. No, it's been a really good game. It's honestly I wasn't expecting to enjoy it so much because I'm like, okay, it's like a puzzle game, sure, but just the kind of conversations that I've already experienced, it's absolutely hilarious. Would highly recommend it. It's currently on sale until the 15th.
He has a ton of good games. I might edit the doc while we're doing this, but I've heard that.
Yeah,
have deals.
absolutely. So I bought that game. It was about $10 Canadian, which was absolutely absurd. And I'm like, okay, I'll get the game.
Still
And
too rich for Porter's blood. If he can't get it for $3.99, he doesn't want it.
I don't know. It might be the conversion rates. It might be $3 at this point because the dollar in Canada is going real great right now, guys. Thumbs up.
Were you on mute, Porter? Because your lips were moving, but nothing was happening.
Oh, I guess I was on mute. Okay, I guess I must have muted myself. Yeah. Hey, when you get to me, I did buy something. Okay.
Oh, you purchased a game.
I even sent it to you. You showed you what I bought.
I know.
So.
All right, tell us all about it. What have you been playing, Porter?
Are you all done, Fee?
I am all.
I'm cutting her off, even if she has other games. I don't want to hear that. What do you got?
So I haven't played it. I haven't played it yet, but I did buy Katamari rerolled. I think it's a game my wife would really enjoy. Very light, just not really much of a game. It's kind of collectathon, so I think she kind of liked that style game. I think it'd be kind of fun for her. If she doesn't like it, I may return it. I don't know yet, but for now, I own it. I also jumped into one of the pro games.
Nice.
Was it this month or last month? But either way, Little Big Workshop. I think it was this month. And that game is it takes a little bit of onboarding. The tutorial is fine, but then certain things happen. Like if your order of operations of what's being built isn't right, it doesn't like warn you like, hey, like this is why your workers aren't doing anything for a few minutes. So I had to go into like a Steam forum post about the game to find out what was happening, because I was like losing money, hemorrhaging money in this game. But other than that, like that hiccup, it's a fun little like efficiency economic game. I'm enjoying that part of that. And I've been playing a little bit more Grime. That's
nice.
it.
How many bosses have you gotten through in Grime?
I haven't gotten to a second one yet. I'm maybe only three. I'm maybe 3 hours in. I haven't gotten that. Honestly, the last month has been terrible for me with work. I have had very little time to play games. And this weekend, I spent a lot of time with my wife and my daughter. So I didn't spend too much time gaming.
Stadia. So. You can just play it on the phone. You can. You just like, hey, wife and family, I'm definitely still here and engaged.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, no, I'm on my phone.
Multitasking.
I'm on my phone too much.
Multitasking. That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, if you're on your phone too much, you just need to spend it doing more gaming and less of whatever else Facebook scrolling you're looking at. You know what I mean?
But also to play League of Legends too, because that's what I do. But
you got to stop fighting people in the Kind of Funny Facebook group and play more games.
I mean, actually, so I just remember one thing. I did play some board games.
I thought you were about to be like, I did get in a fight recently.
I mean, no, I actually haven't been that involved with the Kind of Funny like Facebook group and whatnot in a while. Like kind of.
Fair.
Actually, I was actually thinking about today. I haven't watched like any Kind of Funny content in probably 3 months, which is pretty wild. So
disappointed in you.
Yeah, I used to watch the KFGD every day, and I listen to some other stuff now. I don't know, just kind of
ebbs and flows. Yeah. Ebbs and flows, you know.
But yeah, I did play a brand new game just came out, Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes, I have heard of it
on GeForce Now, which was fun. Me and my friend wanted to play something just like. So you decided to jump into that, and then I played some
all the judgment on Fee's face is pretty great.
Yeah, brand new game, Left 4 Dead 2, just came out. Oh, have you heard of it?
I have no time for gaming, so I just played Left 4 Dead 2.
Well, we were waiting for my friends to play board games, and my one friend's like, "Well, my one friend lives out in Arizona, so time zones are kind of tough." So it was a little early for him. It's like, "Oh, well, we'll play Left 4 Dead 2 for like an hour and see if he's still free. If not, we'll play a board game." So that's what we ended up doing, just jumping into that for a little bit, and then played a board game that I'm backing on Kickstarter, and I've that's most of what I've played.
Nice. Yeah. Now I've come on this show week after week lately and just said I only play Fortnite with my kid.
Yep.
That's all
Yeah.
I've been doing. That's all I've been doing.
And let me guess, it's not going to change.
Oh no. You get ready.
Ooh.
Did you play
There's
Destiny
a
2?
little game called Splitgate that has its hooks
Oh.
so deep in me.
I
I
played this game.
cannot quit.
Okay. So
Same.
what about it do you love? I mean, I guess maybe tell the viewers that don't right know what Splitgate is.
For
Like me.
anybody who doesn't know, it is literally Halo's multiplayer with all of their best games. They just ripped it off from Halo 1. Like Shoddy Snipers, Team Deathmatch, Oddball, VIP. All of them are there. They're labeled the same. Your guys kind of look like Spartans, but holy shit, they were like, you know what we do with this game? We give you a portal gun. And that is the greatest thing anybody has ever come up with. They're like, you know what was a huge deal? The arena shooter Halo. You ever heard of it? Yeah. They made a couple of them. They sold a few. They're like, you know what else everybody loves? This little game called Portal, where you can bounce around and shoot different things on walls and move around. Oh my God, is it so good? It's so good. The first time you put a portal on a ceiling above somebody that's not paying attention and then like just shoot a rocket through it and murder them. Oh, the second to second gameplay is just too good. Too good. And
See,
I'm bad at multiplayer games. I don't normally play them, but I've just been all in.
See, I tried the Splitgate. That game's been up for a while. I tried that game like 2 years ago. It feels like.
So it just moved to
And-
console, right? Is that why it got kind of
it just moved to
revived?
console. It just came out of early access. It was in early access for a while. And I just couldn't I'm not a big arena shooter guy. I never played Halo. I never really played Quake or Unreal Tournament or any of those arena shooters that are well known. So it was the mouse and keyboard shooting, and it was just not my forte. And then I just could not use the portals correctly. Maybe I was just being dumb. We were just kind of just goofing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't hook me. I guess it's hooking everyone now, but maybe it's because the player base is better now. I don't know. What it could
Yeah.
be. Or just console accessibility at that point.
The console accessibility is huge for me. I've been playing on PlayStation 5 and they just nail that 30 seconds of fun. The creator of Halo was like, when we made Halo, the first thing we wanted to do is make sure we hit the 30 seconds of fun. Like if you're having fun, then the first 30 seconds, you're good. People will like your game because they're just enjoying themselves. That is this game to a T. It's to the point I hooked up an old Xbox One S for the kiddo, on a different TV. I downloaded him a Splitgate profile. We're in. It's bonkers. It is my Final Fantasy 14.
Nice.
I
I don't know.
mean,
So that's what I've been playing. Man, otherwise, honestly, I haven't been playing a lot of much else. I just got super hooked on the Splitgate over the last literally just 2 weeks and just been going crazy. So real quick before we move on to our first story of the day, let's play another game that we usually do ever since episode 1.
I meant to bring it
Porter,
up.
what have you been drinking?
I actually went to a cidery this weekend, which was kind of different.
Cidery.
Me and my wife went on a date for the first time in a year. So that was kind of nice. Dropped my daughter off my in-laws and I went to a cider. I was going to drink the cider. I'm like, you know what? I had that the other day. This is a beer I also got on vacation. I can't really see it as a glare.
There it is.
But it's from
Good fortune.
Ooh.
it's from Common Roots. They're up in Glen Falls, New York. They're upstate New York. Really, I like it a lot. It's a nice salt, nice IPA with
Nice.
Galaxy, Amarillo, and Eldorado hops. And I love Amarillo. It's one of my favorites. So,
And Fee, what flavor of bubbly are we drinking?
I'm drinking lime bubbly.
Lime bubbly. Excellent.
Yeah.
I am drinking a nice wit beer called the guy who owns the brewery is named Nick, and so he called this Nick Wit. Nitwit, which I thought was clever. And it's a really good wit. I've been very impressed.
Nice.
But enough about the booze that we've been drinking. Let's talk all about some good old stories here. This is the second week in a row I didn't have my screen share ready to go, and I am embarrassed. First story of the day. Pro games are live with some surprises. As we know, a new month means new pro games, and I don't know why it's doing that. So I'm going to take that down for seizure warnings. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
My screen share is just freaking out. Let me remove it. Porter, do you have the doc pulled up?
I do have the doc not pulled that.
Oh, that's fair. I'll just walk through them and then I'll try to share my screen on the next story. And yeah, sorry you don't get the visual, YouTube watchers.
Yeah, just
Be better at listening to the podcast later, like audio listeners that I don't like. Just kidding.
Even though I posted like a week later because I'm terrible at downloading the episodes. But yeah,
We
you're
love
wonderful.
audio listeners.
All right. Stadia Pro Games for September 2021 are live. Some that we talked about on our last episode, and some that are a complete surprise, like the fact that they just went ahead and shadow dropped Ark Survival Evolved. That is suddenly on Stadia and free for Pro members. And then also Legend of Keepers, Career of a Dungeon Manager. Legend of Keepers is the perfect mix between dungeon management and a roguelite. You have been hired as a dungeon master by the Dungeons Company. Your job is simple: protect their dungeons. We watched some gameplay of this a while back, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a bit.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. And then we also have Darksiders 2 I messed this up last week too. Definitive Edition. God, it's so brutal. And then Little Big Workshop, which Mr. Porter has said he has been playing and is enjoying. And then Wave Break, even though no longer a Stadia exclusive. Wow, words are hard tonight. It is now free on Pro, which I paid for. Bummer. Womp womp. So
Yeah.
any of these games that you guys are just like, I can't wait to jump into.
Legend of the Keeper is definitely something I'm really pumped for.
Which Rouster in the comments says is really good.
Yeah, he's talked about every week he's talked about that game since it came out. So
oh man,
incredible.
yeah.
That's what I do want to try as well. I want to try, honestly. Granted, I've already tried Wave Break and Little Big Workshop. I want to try all of these because they all are interesting to me for different reasons.
Totally.
Whether it be for an hour or longer, if they get their hooks in me, then they're got the hooks in me. I mean,
Yeah.
Ark, I just can't tell. This is a game I've just like in the back of my mind have paid attention to for a while. Like
I know people that have put thousands of hours into this game.
Yeah, I
Literally
can't
1,000
tell
hours
if it's
plus
gonna
this game.
be my jam or not. So obviously I'll just try it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll get a little bit more on that port in a little bit. But
oh no, I just moved it up in the stories because it's worth talking about right now. Speaking of Ark, Ark's port is busted, but it doesn't have to be, everybody. There is a YouTube video out which I will put in like the show notes maybe.
Probably in the show notes. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I'm gonna pull it up. I wanted to bring up I may bring it up.
I'm gonna try this again. It's not freaking out. I'm gonna do it again.
Because there's a part I want to when he starts to zoom out, bring it to the part where he starts to zoom out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going.
It's like a few minutes in. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh, right there. That's where he zooms out.
Yeah, and you can just play it from there and watch. He essentially goes into a command line to put in like cheat codes and throws in some things. This is all on Stadia. You can do this on Stadia with a mouse and keyboard, and you see like the draw distance, how bad it kind of is, how things are kind of popping in and out.
Yeah.
He goes and sets everything to the max settings for all these certain commands, and it just pops. And keep playing it while we're talking. You'll see things start to happen and change. But the draw distance is the big one, and that's the problem with this game is they lock this game at 30 frames a second, and he's running it with everything maxed out. He gets it down to 63 frames or 61 frames.
Wow!
And I watched the whole video, so that's why I know what he's talking about. So here he opens the command line and he's typing in codes, and I think you'll see a pop very shortly. The first one he does is the big one, and like night and day difference. In terms of draw distance, where you see all the foliage looks this lush thing, and why this wasn't ported and set to max settings because it can handle the hardware can handle it.
Yeah,
at the end he really is running at 60 frames a second, everything maxed out, but the port locked it at 30 frames. Draw distance like super low, like it's baffling that this is.
Do we think we're going to see this patched soon?
That's what we hope, but
I mean, that's
for now. You always play on PC and then go through and do this process, and you get to run really well.
And then will that save it though? So then if I go to my TV or my console or whatever?
That I don't know, and doesn't talk about that in the video. I'm assuming I'm assuming not, because it's probably instance based in terms of like you're loading this on a different blade, like you know what I mean, like
right.
Oh, look, we have an old friend of the show here.
You're hiding it. We were too quick on the draw. This seems like a lot of work. Also, hi friends. Hi Avery, friend of the show, guest of the show, and just one of the all-around best people that you could meet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wild. That does seem like a lot of work, Avery. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it absolutely is.
And
that's part
also
of
if it's not gonna carry over, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you would think they would come in right at the start and just go like the max it could go, and then if people need to like patch down, then by all means. But that just seems.
I mean,
why?
Yeah. It did stutter a little bit, but that had to do with something from like because Jem is actually like a developer too. He actually does develop some stuff.
Okay.
He's a big Stadia guy. He's a great follow him on Twitter. He's great.
Sure.
But he talks about it makes sense, like memory allocation, and it's having trouble with like, so it was stuff like a tiny bit here and there, but otherwise it ran really well. It wasn't like the frames like we're dropping because of the hardware can handle is the memory allocation.
And we are getting some confirmation from Rouse.
That's what I figured.
Time, which that makes absolute sense. But wow.
Also, Nick, also a guest and friend of the show, Nick from Quit the Build. Also, a valid point that the map has no base buildings, which is extremely GPU intensive. That is true. Okay, that is true. So it's an area where it's pretty barren in terms of like structures. So it's valid.
Also, I just wanted to quickly mention,
but even still, you can turn on some of that stuff, and he had it even with stuff like that. You didn't need to have it 100%, and it was running at 70 frames. So it can still probably handle it to some degree. Better than what it is.
You can get it to work means that it's there, right? It's possible.
And other GSN guys have done it and said it runs very well with it. So
fair. I did miss one new game on Pro that was also a surprise drop. PGA Tour 2K21, which I am stoked about.
Yes,
I'm going to play so much golf.
That was free, like a free weekend recently.
And now it's free today to pro members.
Starting
September
today.
8th. So if you're an audio listener, today means when that was. September.
I'm hoping to get this up tonight because I've been really bad with it.
Look at him going after it. He's going to chug 3 more IPAs and just the description is going to read like, did things Stadia go listen?
Oh, yeah, my typing, as Aaron learned yesterday, is very, very good with my phone. So
I'm laughing at this doc. There's some gems in here today.
I'm sure. I was typing it while working, so give me a break.
Oh, I will always give you a break. It's great. And then speaking of free weekends, that actually is a perfect segue into our next story.
Yeah.
You're going to love this one. Siege this free weekend of Madden. You have to siege it. 2 titles are going to be free this weekend.
I think you've broken Fee because she just can't even react anymore.
She doesn't even know what to do with it anymore. She's just like, he's saying the words. 2 titles will be free to play on Stadia this weekend, which, by the way, I've really enjoyed this model where they're giving you just chances to check it out. They don't necessarily have to put it out on free, but take 3 days, give it a shot, see if it's your jam.
I'm absolutely going to be playing Madden this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is starting tomorrow, September 9th, and running until September 13th. Stadia Pro members will be able to play Madden NFL 22 at no extra cost. That, however, is not all. During the same period, Stadia Pro members will also be able to play Rainbow Six Siege, also at no extra cost. Rainbow Six Siege also features cross-play with PC and Luna players. Make sure that you connect with a lot of Luna players because their tech is bad and you'll win. Ooh,
as someone who has played Siege on Luna, it
can confirm.
It ran like 10 frames a second. It was the worst gaming experience I've probably ever had on a modern console platform.
Now, the Supernova in Nova Scotia. Tell me, any of those games do it for you? You want to play yourself some American football?
There's no CFL in it, so she's out.
It's only true. NFL teams. What about Rainbow Six Siege? You into that at all?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. I've played Rainbow Six Siege on multiple occasions. Not particularly my cup of tea, but I can see why it's a lot of people's Jam, mostly because like I remember like one of the last games I've played was I got into the game with Lucas and his brother, and we had a random with us, and they're like, "Are you new?" And I said yes, and the guy blew us all up, and then that was the end.
Wow.
So you got briefed. Like, really bad.
Gamers.
I got
TM.
griefed real fast. So yeah, Siege is a time.
It's a community.
Time.
It's a community.
It's a community. You know what? That's the nicest thing I can say. Other than the other things I've had feelings for when it came to E3, when it came to Siege. So yeah. I wouldn't say it's probably my cup of tea, but I'm really excited for a lot of people because.
Is this one of the FPSs that you don't handle well too, or no? It was fine.
Oh, I cannot play that game more than 45 minutes or I will get sick.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, you know what we need to do? We just need to find a game that's a little bit more your speed.
Brace yourself.
We have some Stadia dropping the new hotness, including the one and the only My Friend Peppa Pig. It's going to launch this October on Stadia. If you're new to this game, nobody will be mean to you. Nobody will tell you don't belong. You're just sitting here playing Peppa Pig.
I'm Peppa Pig.
You get to play as your own customizable character in this exciting.
Wait, what? No, I'm in.
Exciting new single player adventure alongside Peppa Pig herself, whilst you join in on multiple fun filled activities, creating your own one of a kind story, exploring Peppa's world. Fee, is this a day one?
You know it as
October
the biggest Peppa Pig fan. Super excited. Totally have seen all the episodes, and by that I mean I've never watched an episode in my life.
I've only seen a few actually, and I have a kid.
It's because you don't have kids, and you will be watching a lot more Peppa Pig coming.
I will. She gets older. Yeah, we have a Peppa Pig toy. I actually like it too. It's a nice little press the pages button thing book where it has the alphabet. You press the buttons and so like some games she can play. I actually like it a lot. And she likes that toy. So we'll watch a lot more Peppa. We watched a little bit of it though. It's actually a fun show.
Nice.
So as an adult watching,
it's no Bluey, but man,
I've heard Bluey is great. Except for the standards that it sets for how much playtime a kid should get. That's the only thing I've heard.
Oh,
so
I haven't even heard that.
It was a joke in the kind of funny group thing. Bluey, how the dad lets him play so much, it says an unreasonable expectation for as a parent of how much time a kid should have to play. So
nice.
I'm definitely not Googling. Oh, that's the one. Okay, that's cute.
What, Bluey?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bluey's cute. Yeah, he's a blue healer.
Okay, that's adorable.
It's a type of Australian dog.
It's like literally one of the greatest kids shows to ever be created. My nieces love it, and I watched it with them, and I was like, no, this actually slaps. Like, this is hysterical.
And it's still, and that's also too old for my daughter too, because it's that's more like 5, right? 5, 6.
Yeah.
That would make sense. No, I'm gonna have to watch this.
Now we see a Bluey game. We got the whole trifecta of kids.
Give me a Bluey game.
Paw Patrol, Bluey, and Peppa Pig. Let's get them all.
They're like Pokemon with kids games. You gotta collect them all on Stadia. We do have a couple other games that were added that are a little bit different from Peppa Pig. We have Katamari, which you
talked about
are playing and enjoying, and you might return.
No. I have purchased. I have not been able to play.
Oh, you have purchased it
last night. I want to play with my wife, hopefully this week, and see if she likes it. I may still keep it because I think Katamari is kind of fun. It's a fun, chill, just roll bullshitting and
chaos.
It's chaos, yeah.
Pure chaos.
That's the guy. Isn't King Chaos is the character? What's the king's name? What's that? The big guy that gives you the missions and whatnot.
Calamari.
Is that his name? I don't know.
I personally haven't seen it. I watched a trailer for it before we started the podcast.
You've never played Katamari?
No.
Okay. I've actually played Katamari back on PS2, but
we'll see. We're not as cool as you. We didn't play your reroll in games. I was out there playing lame stuff like
what's his name?
Oh, you said PS2?
The King of all Cosmos. So when you say King of Cosmos.
Did you say this was on PS2?
It was the original game was on PS2, I believe.
See, I couldn't be playing this. I was playing that Jet Li game, Rise to Honor.
I don't even know what that game is.
I don't.
Oh my
know.
god, it's so good. You use the sticks to do like the Jet Li action fighting. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. That and just any Soul Reaver game I could get my hands on. It's fine. And the original Prince Persia. Those are all PS2 jams. And then the other game is Darkwood, which we watched the trailer for this?
I have known nothing about this game. It looks. I think I saw like a screenshot of it. It's a horror survival game, but it's
Yes,
top down.
It's a top down.
top down though, which is weird. Like the perspective, like not what I thought it would be.
It is creepy, guys.
You're getting ready for that. So yeah, Darkwood, creepy top down. Was this on PC first, Fee?
I'm not specifically sure.
I would
Oh,
assume
okay.
I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume so because it's a top down. But yeah, I watched the trailer for this, and some of the pictures were a little bit creepy.
And it's straight top down. That's like GTA 2 like perspective.
Yeah.
This is
like that. That's a little creepy.
This reviewed pretty well though, from what I saw. I looked at like the reviews for it and like an 80. Like
Was that a zombie dog? Are we just hacking away at dogs?
Yes.
Ah, too many bodies.
Gross.
Okay. My whole okay, let's end there.
No. Marketing
So-
team.
Just so you guys know, there was for the
Think
audio
through
listeners, there was a person that had like this like
A worm body.
worm thing coming out of it, and it said "my holes" over his head. And that's all it said.
That was the whole context to it. It was just my holes.
So yeah, this game was on PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC, and it came out in 2014 originally.
Yeah, it's a little bit older.
But yeah, if it's a worm person, I assume because they have holes in the ground because they're tunneling holes.
I guess that would make the most sense. It's
I
just
mean,
still
it's
a very
that-
Still a
out
bad
of
cut.
context. Out of context, it's still a very
That's a-
weird thing.
That's a bad cut.
I mean,
That's
I'm trying to
we
think
tried
of-
this 10 times. We just couldn't get the right cut. We'll just keep it.
I've only had
Keep it
since
for the goose.
2014 to cut this trailer. So the best I could come up with was my holes.
You had 7 years to change that trailer, and yeah,
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. He was
No,
like, you know what? This
obviously.
is the best
That
cut
takes too
of
much
this
effort
trailer.
for Stadia. This takes too much effort.
and then they probably were like, "That's definitely going to be like a Michael Scott joke," and then just left it in there.
Oh, that's absolutely it. Somebody was like, you can't do this. And he was like, oh, watch me.
Watch
And then
me.
nobody ever recut it.
Yeah, and then he's just like, "That's what." And every time he sees that trailer now, he's just like, "That's what she said." Every single time.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. All right. This next story I am so excited for. And YouTube listeners and audio listeners alike, I don't know what's about to happen. So
so
what's on
excited.
to the dog? Oh, that's
strap
okay.
in for the ride. You know what I mean?
So-
like let's do this thing.
I'll temper expectations. It's not as exciting as the title is going to be.
Story time with Porter. The doc just says, just to whet
Read
the
it.
appetite.
Go ahead and read it.
My friend drunk called me and told me about trying Stadia on a Spirit Airlines flight. If that's not the title of a Reddit post, I don't know what is.
So my buddy was down in Nashville with some friends, and he was a little. I mean, it was late afternoon, so not quite day drunk.
Okay.
But he was just drinking out on the patio or deck of his place, and just decided to start calling some people. He chose me as one of those people. But he is a Stadia supporter. He's actually been in the comments a few times. Kenny, if you're
Yep.
you've seen him before. He decided to call me, and we're just talking. I'm driving to go pick my groceries up because I do still order my groceries online and just pick them up.
Of course.
And he was just talking like, yeah, so we took Spirit Airlines. I'm like, well, that must have been fun. He's like, I mean, yeah, you had to pay for water. I was like, yeah, I paid for the water.
I paid for the water.
And he's like, so yeah, I don't know. I was a little. I think I say I was a little drunk going on the plane. So I said, I'm going to buy the Wi-Fi, pay for the Wi-Fi as well, because you have to pay for the Wi-Fi, and try Stadia while on the plane. You want to try I think it was try Cyberpunk. And as you can expect, it was just it just kept crashing. It just
Why
kept
would
like
you go to the most taxing possible game that Stadia has?
it just kept crashing. Like it would load up and then just like he moved a few steps and just the game instance would just close. I'm trying to actually even got it to load, like actually like boot into the game. But he tried it on an airplane and he got the results I was expecting. What?
I have a question.
Sure, go for it.
First of all, why?
Why Spirit Airlines? Or there's a lot of things you can say why to with his choices he made.
Well, no, like how long is the plane ride?
1 second.
I'm just in
so sorry to
Nashville,
cut
so
you
probably a
off.
2-hour
no,
plane ride.
by all means.
Porter, the fact that you think her first question is why Spirit Airlines, there are so many other questions that she had. All right.
What Spirit Airlines, guys? I'm Canadian.
Oh yeah, Spirit Airlines is literally a budget airline that you literally have to pay for your water on the plane.
So like
I wasn't
tickets,
joking. Tickets are
like
cheap.
$50 or $60, right? But then you're gonna pay $50 to $100 just to check your bag. You're gonna pay $10 just to get a water. Like it's a budget.
Like, I'm surprised I'm surprised to pay to use the bathroom on the plane. Like I'm like
or the AC, right? Like if you want to turn on the little fan, it's gonna be $20. Like that's how they get away. They say they have super cheap tickets and then they just nickel and dime you to absolute death to get their money back.
It's like a $5 water too. It's like stadium prices. It's dumb.
And if you're like, I'm not thirsty, they hold you down, dump the water in your face, and then steal your money.
What the fuck? Okay.
So what was your question?
Because that's Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, I'm finding out it's like we have like WestJet Canada, like Air Canada, and then we have an actual like it's like the I guess like cheap flights with Porter, which is like an actual airline. Congratulations. But no, my question is okay, so it was a 2-hour plane ride.
Yeah, probably give or take. I mean, probably plus or minus half hour, yeah.
So we spent like $30 to play
probably,
Stadia.
Yeah.
Because it's usually a flat rate.
Oh yeah, probably.
What the fuck?
Spirit of greed.
Was your friend? Did he like get date? Like, did he?
I mean, I think he was drunk. I think he got drunk at the airport.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember. I was very distracted by his current state of drunk. To take on that detail, and also was trying to get my groceries.
Also,
I also just needed
Wi-Fi.
my groceries, man.
Also, airplane Wi-Fi. That's
it's never been good. It's never been good.
But
he wanted to try it, and I'm glad he had the balls to try it.
You know what? Thank you, crazy drunk person, for testing it out for us, so we know that the Wi-Fi connection on an airplane, specifically Spirit Air, is not great for Cyberpunk 2077. We appreciate you wasting your money on that.
Yeah.
It's greatly appreciated.
It was great.
God.
It was a great little moment in my life I'll remember forever.
Well, he learned Spirit Airlines Wi-Fi sucks. You know what else sucks? Probably your username. And now it's time that you can change it. Fee is like, what is happening?
I'm just sipping my beer.
I love it. 9 to 5 Google comes to us with a news story. Google Stadia players can now change their username in Stadia without contacting support.
Oh, cool.
Can we talk about the tic-tac-toe game real quick? Like, what is this tic-tac-toe game above us? Scroll up. What is this tic-tac-toe game? Why is it only the hexes? He won twice. Oh my goodness.
Moving on. I have no answers for you. I'm equally confused by their featured image.
What can I say?
The functionality was formally launched on September 1, but it's already showing up for some users already. So we're on September 8th. This launched on September 1. What you can simply do is tap or click on your profile icon in the top right corner of your Stadia session. Select Stadia settings. Under Stadia name and avatar, select change your name.
Awesome.
Wow.
Bing, boom.
Bing, bang,
Bing, bang,
boom.
Something that PlayStation took like 20 years to figure out because they made a bad decision back on PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm. I also really appreciate that the article from 9 to 5 Google really making sure that they do all their research. Step 4, enter the Stadia name you want. Step 5, if that fits their guidelines, you can confirm your choice.
You know what? I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the over communication. You know, too much information versus not enough. I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
Are
See,
either of you going to
eyes
change
across
your
their
name?
T's unlike that tic-tac-toe game. Whoever set that one up. Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
I want to question them. Like, that's the real story here. What happened in that tic-tac-toe game?
Is he just playing against himself? Was it a really sad person? Just
They lost to their kid and they just started throwing the O's. I'm not doing this.
I feel like they
win.
really striked out there. You know what I mean?
But there was a stack of them right there. There's a stack of them right there. Sorry, people. All the audio listeners are just gone. But
They're done. They're checked out at this point. Too much of a visual gag. Listen, there was a tic-tac-toe table. Didn't make sense. Moving on. This one, you were really excited about the Wings phone. So new phones get their wings.
yes, I needed to add that in there because it's just okay. Well, get to the article and I'll explain the Wing phone. If you're not familiar with the Wing phone,
I
go to the
looked through it briefly, so I'm excited to hear your
Okay.
explanation of this. Here's every smartphone that officially supports Google Stadia mobile gameplay, which has been updated. Again, this comes from 9 to 5 Google.
And just a reminder, all people can any device that runs Android above like a certain number, I forget which version, can through experimental mode run Stadia. It does.
Yes.
You don't have to, but these ones are officially supported, confirmed supported.
Yeah.
There should be a list, updated list. There. Yeah, right there. The bottom list is the updated list.
Oh, but that says as of March 24th.
Is it?
That was confusing to me. Anyways, if you weren't sure, you can go to Pixel 4a, Pixel 4a 5G, Pixel 5, Apple iPhone using Safari, Asus ROG Phone 3, OnePlus Nord N10 5G and N100, the LG V50 Thin Q, V50S Thin Q, V60 Thin Q, G7 Thin Q, G8 Thin Q. Listen, if it's a GQ Think Q or whatever, you can do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It sounds like a drunk girl yelling thank you to her Uber driver. Thank you.
Oh, so listen,
she knows what's
sorry,
up. She's gotten
they
out of an
added-
Uber like way too
sorry,
late, being like, thank you.
It's actually, I see where it is now. If you scroll down a little bit, there's like only 2 that they added.
Oh, Apple iPad and Pixel 5a,
5G. Okay, so that was confusing to me. So I just got distracted by the LG Wing, and I'm like, I'm just going with this. Like,
That's
why is
all
this
you
phone
wanted
being
to know
added?
about. You're like,
All I wanted to
LG
know is
Wing,
why
baby.
the LG Wing?
You put like all the exclamation question marks into the article.
Why?
In the doc, which
Why?
I respected.
Why? I'm gonna pull up the article and show.
Here it is. The LG.
Oh, you already got it. Okay.
Wing.
So if you're not familiar with this phone, I maybe this is old. Clearly, apparently old news. But why the LG Wing? One, it was a very experimental phone. It's wild what it can do. Like I actually love it. Low key love this phone. Like you can actually spin it around and type on it on the winged out thing, like a full keyboard, and then have like your text above it, which is freaking awesome. But this is like
You still wouldn't be able to type on it though.
No. You can type. Oh yeah, me. Yeah, of course. But like there's some cool features like this. Like you have like YouTube on the bottom, and when you're doing other things, you're playing games. You can have music in the background, like that too. Like you're gonna be playing Twitch streaming from your phone and have your chat up there too. Like some really cool stuff you could do with this phone. But like the fact that it of all things supports Stadia is wild. One, because LG doesn't make phones anymore, and two, it's just this very obscure phone that's like, if this phone can run Stadia, then every phone should be able to run Stadia. Is like my point. And it's just such an obscure thing. I love the idea of this phone. I low key wanted it because it's just so out there. Like all these folding phones coming out. Like they're like, no, let's have 2 screens and have them wing out like that, and you can do some cool stuff with it.
That's actually really dope.
But yeah, it's a cool feature.
Wild in design.
And that's what I miss about LG not making phones anymore, because they just make some wild shit, and it's just so fun.
What a good time.
So it's just a fun phone.
I see you looking down over there. I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
Are you in fact an iPhone user?
I am not.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
good.
We've had
She's on the right side of history. It's fine.
I just saw, I was like, she's checking out on these Android phones. She doesn't care. Is this an iPhone thing? All right.
Hey, it's coming to
I have a
iPad.
Google Pixel.
Look at that Pixel.
That's the 1 or the 2? That's a 2, right?
It's the 2. And when it comes out in October, I'm getting the 6 Pro.
I'm hoping to get the 6. I'm hoping to get the 6.
Phone looks sick.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a new phone, and because I've had this one particular is for 4 years at this point.
Yeah,
I'm like,
definitely.
hell yeah, I'm gonna get the frickin' 6 Pro. Hell yeah.
I can't believe you're using a Pixel 2. That
My sister and
boggles my
brother-in-law
mind.
are on the 2 and 2 XL.
Yeah, this is the
just-
2XL.
Yeah,
that
It
is
works fine.
impressive.
I knew because of the power button. Honestly,
Oh yeah, the fingerprint
Mhm.
reader. Mm-hmm.
no, the power button is it's orange on that.
Oh,
It's awesome.
Ace
I love it.
Attorney.
Oh, that's your background.
Yeah, it's my background. It's Ace Attorney.
I love that.
Great Ace Attorney.
Does your Pixel 2?
Raptors
that
also
use
going
Stadia?
for that.
Yep.
That Pixel 5A looks like, or
No,
Oh,
not
yeah.
4A. No.
I
You
have
go for
no-
that 6.
no, he's at the 4A right now. He's gonna upgrade.
Oh,
He wants to
Yeah.
stay
my
on.
bad. I
Yeah.
misread.
Yeah, no, I have the 2. I didn't think I needed to upgrade at a 3 because I'm like, there's no huge jump. 4 was okay. 5 did not have a Pro version, so I was waiting for in hopes that the 6 came back with the Pro.
Yeah, we had a little panic this yesterday, or actually this morning, because yesterday. My wife was in the field and fell in some water because she works in the water, and her
Okay.
phone took a little drink, and then the speaker wasn't working,
Mm.
and then that came back on, but then it stopped charging. It didn't charge at all overnight. It just died.
No.
Put it in rice?
But now it's working fine. So it's like
Oh.
she has a 3A, and she
Oh,
loves
okay.
it's a great. I mean, she loves that phone. So I'm thinking about either having her get the 5A or wait to get the 6. If she
May
can
as well
make it.
just get the 6 at this
If she
point.
can make it that long, but yeah.
True.
But otherwise, the
Sophie,
5A is good.
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
ask, does that Pixel 2, does it run Stadia?
Yes, it does.
Well, guess what? That's a segue into our next story. Stadia running on other new devices.
You just
the
really took
setup.
what I wrote there. Wow.
I did. I
You
liked
did.
it. People are using the most ridiculous devices to play Stadia games, and it's glorious.
And this isn't the
this
first time we
is-
talked about this either.
That's what I was about to say. This has become kind of an on-running joke at this point. Like we've seen it on smart fridges, we've seen it on other stuff.
Yeah.
This comes from ChromeUnbox.com, a news source here at Speaking of Stadia. Check them out at ChromeUnbox.com.
Yeah, it came up in my Google feed. I'm like, oh, this looks okay.
Okay, so we have playing Assassin's Creed on a smartwatch. I will blow this up. We'll go through a couple of these. There it is. Just
doing
rocking
it.
Assassin's Creed on your smartwatch.
How?
I mean, it's not running great. It's
No, but it's running.
it's not running bad either.
Tesla,
we've known
this
for a
makes
while.
perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
it
That's
looks
an
like you
old
can
one.
play it in
That's
your
that's
Tesla.
Easy. That
That's
one's
not
easy.
shocking at all.
Yeah.
Because I think there's just a browser in there.
But I
But
think
then
that's
this
really
one's a
good.
fun one.
Oh yeah, on
I'm
an
loaded onto an
elliptical.
elliptical at the gym. It's funny because I've seen people post like some people in the Kind of Funny group and whatnot post like their switches on the treadmill, and they're like playing the controller while they're playing on the treadmill. Like you don't even need the switch. You don't even need the hardware. All you need is a
No.
controller. And you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 at the gym. I will get on the elliptical if I can play some Destiny 2 while I'm doing it.
This
Okay.
one I think is just a tablet inside of a screen.
Oh, that's a tablet for sure.
That's definitely just a tablet inside of a microwave.
That is
Yeah.
literally a $25 microwave from Walmart.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
there's no tablet on that.
Canada has Walmart? That's what I learned.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I assume they're everywhere.
Sam Walton. Going everywhere. Conquering the
And
world.
that's it.
That's it.
That is the things that
The elliptical
you
was a
can...
new one, really. It was like the big new
True,
one. And
yeah.
the watch, we've seen it before, but that's still cool. I still find it hilarious to see the watch.
I really dig it. This next story is a job listing hint at possible India expansion, or as Porter liked to say, job listing gint at possible India.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oh man, you're having a good
Goodness gracious. I was trying to multitask.
I know the savagery in tonight's episode is
I
unbelievable.
love it.
This comes from our good friends over at Stadia Source. New job listing hints at a Stadia's expansion into India. I'll skip right to the quote. Work collaboratively with cross-cloud stakeholders, including Anthos, AIML, Stadia engineering and product teams, global telco solution team, global network team, telco partnerships, networking specialists, outbound product managers, and telco. That is part of the listing that showed up on LinkedIn. This does not mean that Stadia's expansion into India is imminent. It is very much likely that it's still some time away before this happens. However, this job listing is a positive sign that Stadia is still actively looking to expand into new territories. As stated above, the mobile gaming market in India is a large one. And with Stadia being a platform that allows you to play AAA games on your mobile devices, an expansion into the India for Stadia would be a real statement from Google. Now, this is something we've talked about quite a bit on this show, just expanding into different territories and things like that. What do you guys make of this, Fiona? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it's really positive. I know this year has been a roller coaster for a lot of major companies, and being able to see this, especially with Stadia, because of we'll
get more into that stuff a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good to see that they're posting. Interested to see why, or specifically what their ideas for when it comes to India expansion. But yeah,
I think huge market.
I mean, it is
for gaming. On budget, the phone market there is huge. It's its own it's like China, India, and like the US are really the big again. I guess obviously Europe too, but India is a big market for low end phones that can't play games. So getting cloud streaming on stuff in there would be huge, because it's a lot of mixed Android phones are the whole Androids are Android One for India and other developing countries. Sure. I'm not saying India's a developing country, but
there India any other major territories that Stadia hasn't gotten to yet?
Oh, I'm sure South America / Mexico, I think, is one.
Yep, that is a big one.
And then it's not in Australia and Japan still. Or maybe it's in Japan now. I forget if it's in Japan, but no, it's not. From my understanding, it's not in Japan, Australia, India, and South America.
Those are indeed giant markets that they should probably.
They're also missing South Korea.
xCloud is in. xCloud is in, I think, at least Japan and Japan is definitely Japan and India, and they're working on some sort of thing with down in South America too.
You would assume that a market that has the fastest internet speeds in the world would have Stadia, and they do not. So I would have assumed something seeing maybe postings in Korea.
I think that's more of Google just doesn't have data centers in those locations is the big thing.
I guess that would make sense.
You don't have to give them that satisfaction. We don't need to let Porter just be right all the time.
You know what? No, I think.
They have data centers. I've seen them.
That's my guess. I mean, I really don't know. I'm totally that'd be the best guess for me. But Rouser also makes a good point. Gaming consoles are expensive in developing countries, so Brazil would be big. That was the big thing for a while. Is PS2, FIFA would come out on PS2 all the way up to, I want to say 2014. It was pretty late. It was still coming out to because consoles are so expensive in Brazil. Brazil's a huge market, so he's right. Yeah, Brazil would be a big get. I think India is what Brazil, India, and Japan would be massive. So
true,
especially because the mobile gaming market in Japan is massive too. So be able to play your full games on there, not play gacha games like freaking Fire Emblem Heroes and those kind of games. So.
True.
Yeah.
Aaron,
any takes on that?
I think India is a big get, like you said. I would be way more shocked to not see them end up in Australia and South America first, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think those are massive markets, and markets that our audience asks about, and kind of funny people have asked about when we post. They're always wondering what's going on with it. So
Australia,
those are the hungriest markets that I am just visibly seeing on a consistent basis. Not that any country necessarily needs to be prioritized over the other, but just in terms of that desire to get into your platform, I feel like South America and Australia are their two biggest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So We'll see. We'll see where they go with it. That's obviously going to take a lot of work, which takes me to my next headline. Guys, these transitions are silky smooth tonight.
Oh.
Jack Buser bussing to new role. Like busser. Bussing.
Love you, sir.
Oh, look at Fee.
She
She's
just
like,
can't
so
even
tired.
I'm not even tired. It's just
I'm so tired.
you know what?
Hey,
Yep.
You're
it's
not tired, you're
tired.
exhausted.
So sleepy.
Yeah.
She's tired of my bullshit. All right, Google Cloud zeroes in on gaming. Tap Stadia exec Jack Buser to lead the way. This comes from growyourwealth.com, Porter.
Yeah, I found this randomly on the Twitters, and I tried finding anywhere else where I had it, could not find it. So I went with this one.
We are
Ooh.
rock and rolling and ready to
But
go.
hey, we got the article. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Google Cloud is staking its claim in the fast-growing gaming industry, creating a new executive role focused on gaming solutions. To spearhead the effort, Google Cloud is tapping Jack Buser, who currently serves as director. As Google Cloud's director of global gaming solutions, Buser will report to VP of Industry Solutions, Lori Mitchell-Keller. His first day in the new role will be September 13th. Buser's new role, I'll read this next paragraph and then we'll probably quit after the quote. Buser's new role sheds light on the evolution of Google's gaming strategy as it puts more focus on serving as a platform for third-party game publishers and developers. It also cements gaming as a crucial category for Google Cloud, putting it on par with a handful of other key verticals like healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. Quote, Google Cloud sees incredible momentum across all industries, and gaming is one of the key verticals we are investing in, a Google Cloud spokesperson told ZDNet. What do you make of this? Let's start with you, Porter.
Well, first I wanted just to reiterate, Phil Harrison is still the VP apparently of Stadia, and somehow he's the one that has not been removed or moved yet, which is just baffling to me in general.
It doesn't make any sense when you don't have somebody that doesn't support your platform at all, and you're just like, you know what? That's fine. We'll leave you in this role.
Yeah. It's sad to see Jack go because he had come on we have cool friends on Kind of Funny with Greg and was talking about it, and he was like passionate about his work on it for years. He was originally on PlayStation Home and then started developing PlayStation Now when they bought Gaikai. So he's been invested in cloud gaming for at least a decade at this point. So to see him move away like from Stadia and moving to something adjacent but not exactly, it's kind of hopefully not too telling. It's a little it's just a little, I don't know, it's sad to see him move on. It's sad to see I'm not sure whether it be faith from Stadia waning, is that's what this obviously is going to be, is Stadia dying, is the sky falling. All the people that were around John Justice and Jack Buser, the two front facing people for Stadia, are now gone. So what do we have? We having a conversation with Stadia, anything in 9 months, 10 months. So it's just a little bit of kind of left in the air of what's the future for Stadia. Is it going to be this white labeling thing now? Are they going to still support Stadia? It sounds like from the developer call that they had, the developer conference they had a month or two ago, which we covered, that there are still supporting Stadia. They're changing the pricing format for Pro and how they're paying developers. But this is just kind of get like one step forward, two steps back a little bit, but at least in my take. But I mean, I hope with this, we follow this up with a good hiring of someone else to take his spot, and we figure out where they're going from there.
Yeah. And
hopefully by the end of the year, we get some sort of conference to give us, hey, this year has been very quiet from us, and we've added 200 games now total. I think Ark was the 200th game actually to be added to Stadia, because there was the whole promise by the end of the year we'll have 200 games on Stadia and more. So hopefully we get some sort of actual communication besides just a blog post that gives us some sort of idea of where it's going.
Yeah, for me, I definitely don't go sky is falling. Oh no. But this is definitely part of their new strategy of where they want to take this business model and where they want to take this technology. And I definitely think we're just headed towards white label. What does that mean for the current state of Stadia? I'm not really sure. But it is a little weird to take somebody just from gaming and say, no, we actually want you to do cloud support so that we can figure out where this technology works best in other arenas is kind of what it comes down to. Fee, what about you?
I'm laughing because it's just, I think you and Jake have really hit the nail on the head. And it concerns me that the person who has literally posted nothing in the past year and a half is still there. Nothing, no voice. Is he dead? Like, if he's in danger,
twice if
please
you're
blink
alive,
twice.
Harrison. Blink
Just, like,
twice.
honestly, like, you're the at least get someone, get a community manager, get someone who, like, your social media, get your social media person to actually post things on your account.
She's on his account. Yes, I said
Yes,
they
on
actually
his
did
account,
hire
yeah.
a social media manager, and she's great. She's been
Great.
doing some really
Oh,
cool
for
engagement.
sure.
She's been like, someone posted a picture on Reddit, I think the other day, of their cat looking at their Stadia controller, and she actually shared it and said, "Can you give this cat some ideas?" It's a really cute post. Like, she's very engaging. She's very, very good at what she's doing. I really appreciate what she's been doing for the community and as a whole.
Yeah.
But yes, we need our higher ups to also be backing that and speaking to it and building that brand.
Yeah.
August 20th was his last retweet, a reply to a tweet which was about PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 demos, because I think it was around the time that Sean Layton left, I want to say. But yeah,
it's really concerning overall. And like,
over
even,
here.
at least for myself, like, I just decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna Google search this guy and look at his images. There's no picture with him in regards to anything Stadia related until like 2 lines down. Until at that point, there's like pictures of him with like PlayStation and Xbox and him standing in front of the Xbox logo. I think it was at E3 or something like that a few years ago. And you're just seeing so much support on that end. And then when he gets onto Stadia, it's just nothing. So I'm hoping that this is not a very we should be concerned, because I saw positive posts on Twitter over the past few days regarding Stadia.
Mhm.
And it's just like, hey, like, I am so sorry. The person who posted this, I do not remember who it was, but they were saying, like, I was losing hope in Stadia, but I got to see a few things that I can't talk about, and I'm really excited. And I'm like, okay, that gives me some hope in the future. But Phil, blink twice, buddy. If you're in danger, we're here to help you. Just get in contact. I don't know. It's overall very confusing why he's just not as, because you see what happens when you see higher ups from gaming companies being a lot more hands-on, and we're not seeing that with Stadia, and it's not very helpful.
This is actually a really great question that I didn't know if, Porter, you could answer. If you know, has Harrison been this silent in other companies?
My guess is follow his career too much before Stadia. I know he's had a lot of flops, which is like what he's most known for, with PS3, with the launch of PS3, and I believe he was part of the team when they launched Xbox One as well.
Yeah.
He has never been the figurehead to a degree. I think the most he was with PlayStation, but they still always had Kaz and other people that were more the front, like the heads. He's never been like the full head, at least to my knowledge. But he's been a high level executive in a lot of these companies
multiple times.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I always appreciate the gaming CPA just coming by to say Krasinski. Our favorite John Krasinski on the internet. Yeah. And it's crazy. That does it for this week's episode, the 30th episode of Speaking of Stadia. Fee, where can the lovely people find you at? And go ahead and plug that new podcast all about the world's greatest game.
The critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14. You can play free up until Heaven, and you get Heaven's Word for free as well up until level 60. Hi. You can find me here. You can also find me on oh my goodness, Point in Progress. Every Friday, we live stream the podcast. We just started a new podcast called Fantasy in Progress, where we talk about everything Final Fantasy 14 and maybe in the future other Final Fantasy games, because I've personally never played another Final Fantasy game
Really?
before.
I have never
No.
finished a Final Fantasy, but I played an F ton of them.
So we'll see what happens. It definitely opens some doors, and I'm really excited to talk about our experiences. We just got. I'm midway through the second expansion right now. Everyone else I'm playing with is currently finished the second expansion, so we'll be talking about this week is Heaven's Ward, and then the week after is going to be Stormblood, which I'm very excited and realizing that I really need to get that done. And so here we are. Yeah.
And are you enjoying it as like a cohesive story?
Yes.
Cool.
As a person who has been a absolute fan of MMORPGs for the past decade, it's definitely one of the most immersive MMO experiences, storyline wise, even just like, because to be able to to see progression through the game, you have to play through the main story quest, which everyone calls MSQ. Everyone has to do this. You're the warrior of light. You have to save essentially the world, and you meet people on the way. You lose some people, unfortunately, and it's really, really great. And it also has a really great side when it comes to solo play. If you just want to play the game by yourself, you can certainly do that. There's multiple opportunities to. Would highly recommend it.
Awesome. Check it out, everyone. I can't wait. I still need to play the game. I just need to download it. I just need to try it because it seems like my jam. And Mr. Porter, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Too Tall Porter, which is right below my face. Right, if you look right here.
There it is.
There it is. And on our Twitter, again, it's still like 90% and 10% Aaron, but all the bangers are Aaron, and just me retweeting and posting random replies on people.
Over the last 2 weeks, I'd like to say that this has gone to 15%.
You've been more.
15%.
Yeah, I think so. No. I'll give you the extra 5. But you have some good ones. You've got some good posts. So, it's usually me. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, like I said, most of my other stuff is private. So yeah, that's it. But that's all I really do. This I've been talking loosely with my friends about doing I do another like video game thing as well, and we've talked about doing it, but my PC is still like dead. So I mean, you're still using GeForce Now for a lot of stuff. But yeah, like League of Legends and Tabletop Simulator, I use GeForce Now. But yeah,
Nice.
Which I've actually had a good experience. Honestly, it's a good experience with those games with GeForce Now. Just not Stadia related, but just real quick.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, that's it. How about you, Aaron?
Sweet. You can find me on Twitter at Aaronseaney, AARONSEANEY. And now that I have this new studio, I will probably be ramping back up on Awesomely Average. Just needed to take care of some things for a couple months. So we'll be bringing that back, and I'm excited for that. Otherwise, yeah, you can come here for all things Stadia. I saw a comment from Rouser. It was a little bit shorter this week. We're just getting more efficient. I don't know what to say.
It was it was a light news week.
It was a light week. Listen,
It happens.
it's fine. He's hungry anyways. He needs to go eat. And that does it for the 30th episode of Speaking of Stadia. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. We will, of course, be back in 2 weeks on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And until next time, we'll see you then.